Charlie Shanks. Receiving from Milwaukee, Anthony Selestow.
Heard the announcements there from our referee, Abraham Montillo. My name is Dave Vincent. You're watching the race for 8. It's Anthony Selestow up against Charlie Shanks, who is riding high right now. He just won a pro stop in Houston, and now we are back onto the court at 0-0. Let's go to that court action with that first serve from Charlie Shanks. 2 bounces and a point.
And it doesn't take long, Dave, for the best server this season on the Race for 8-2 tour to notch his first ace. If Charlie Dave hits 10 or more aces or unreturned serves in a match, 225, it's almost impossible to beat him.
Point.
And there's an unforced error from Anthony. Dave, Anthony's recipe is return the serve, stay away from unforced errors. Thus far, first 2 rallies, 1 unreturned serve and an unforced error.
Charlie is so dangerous. This crowd is coming to see somebody that is truly an amazing handball player. In the finals of the U.S. Open, between the legs from Charlie Shanks, U.S. Open and national finalist.
Wow, he's a big game player, Dave. And I think, Dave, you'll see some more urgency. A terrible shot there from Anthony, but Charlie knows this is his last season on the Race for 8 tour. He's moving back to Ireland, and it's going to be impossible for him to travel to these tournaments. So I think that, Dave, gives him a little bit more motivation, a little bit more perspective.
Charlie Shanks said to me right before the match that he wanted me to talk about the future pro Peter Shanks, who just made it through to the Ulster finals at the primary school competition for the under-11s. And Charlie says already he knows this guy is going to be the one. He's a lefty, redhead lefty, he said. That is unbelievable.
Is this one of Charlie's brothers, I assume? Okay.
Reminder, please silence your cell phones.
He said his father, Peter, is also a great handball player.
1-3.
They set their alarms for 1 o'clock in the morning in Ireland to watch this match.
Point.
So welcome, Ireland, and good morning, or is it good night? I don't really quite sure.
I call 1 a.m. working time, so I wouldn't know. And Anthony looking really good right now. Anthony, Dave, has a very underrated serve. He's got a sneaky good serve, particularly behind himself to the left. And now he's right in this match. Last thing you want to do if you're Anthony is let Charlie get away from you early.
Charlie just lasers a 1-inch high kill shot there on that screen ball.
2 serves.
Anthony had a recent rotator cuff surgery on his right shoulder, and he felt like he re-injured it.
1 serve.
That was a short serve.
But before that, it was screen, okay.
Yeah. Let's hope he didn't re-injure it. He took an awkward dive against Chip late in that match. And he looks like he's swinging pretty well.
Wow, Charlie just flattens this ball out. This pace is unbelievable. And Anthony's going to end up winning that rally.
Point.
Anthony a little perturbed that Charlie didn't call 2 bounces there.
There was some controversy in Anthony's match against Chip today. Some strange calls.
Short.
I know, Dave, you didn't see that match. Charlie Shanks announcing that match. He was sitting here with a notepad. Dave, he was charting all of Anthony's, what he said, strengths. He was very impressed with Anthony. He said, I heard about this guy, saw his results in Houston. I've never seen him play, and he liked what he saw today.
Anthony's got really quick feet.
Three, 4.
And Charlie's got so much power. He can hit shots, Dave, that aren't necessarily flat kills, but they're so hard side to side that it's hard to catch up to them.
4. Short ball.
He's got, Dave, almost what I'd call an overhand kill game, where he can end rallies spiking the ball. that's one area, Dave, I think Anthony can improve, take his game to another level if he's able to paddle, re-kill,
5-4.
instead of just paddling, retrieving. Anthony's one of these guys, Dave, that has a lot of competition on a daily basis to spar with in his hometown in Milwaukee. He's just about an hour from Chicago, where there's a lot of very good handball players. He plays in a lot of tournaments up there. Some of these guys, Dave, on the tour only get a chance to play against top players at the stops.
Charlie misses that. Now there's a side out. Selestow hanging pretty tough here in the first half.
4-5.
I don't think this crowd knows what to experience here. They don't really know Charlie. They don't know Anthony. And it's very quiet, although it is packed. But they've heard a lot of accolades coming from both camps of both players. So they're sitting around trying to assess who they're going to be rooting for. It's kind of an awkward situation.
Sorry. One agree with my call. All stands.
It is an educated crowd, but
I thought that was clearly short.
It was short, and somebody said that they thought it good.
You know, Dave, there's so many people down there that it's difficult to tell exactly who the line judges are, and it's hard to pick them out.
Well, when everybody's wearing parkas and snow gear, it's hard to tell the difference between the two. There's an unforced error right there from Selestow.
That was unforced feet. Just didn't get his feet in the right position to hit that shot, and as a result, his swing not as fluid as it should have been.
5-4.
If Charlie gets a serve working, that might be the last point you'll see from Anthony Selestow.
Well, I think maybe Sean Lenning had some of those same thoughts, and he packed his bags. Long way to go here.
Another unforced error for Selestow, and this is when you watch the video back. Hi, Anthony.
Yeah.
But when you watch the video back,
and I know you will, just to get a glimpse of the teen heartthrob.
Those are the ones that you start calculating, saying, what if I would have just got that in play? I mean, Anthony should get a point there, but he doesn't. And then Charlie shanks it.
Charlie looks a little flat right now, Dave. This really is his
4-5.
first true round of handball here. He played a guy, Dave, in the first round today that really not on his level. Not much of a test for him. Now he gets in there against a guy who's really riding the wave of confidence.
And Anthony gets another point. We're all together at 5. I think what Anthony brings to the table is he is really an amazing get artist. And if you're
5-5.
If you're not perfect with your shots on that day, or if you're a little tentative, Anthony's going to keep you on the court for a long time, and you might lose some of your legs.
That's an amazing shot. And Dave, I had a chance to talk to Charlie about that exact shot, that revolving door shot. He said early in his career it wasn't one of his strengths, but he's made it one of his strengths. I think he's the best revolving door kill artist in the game.
I feel that
Short ball.
Armando Ortiz is
Calling short.
the best.
I call the ball short. One agree. My call.
I thought that was good. Dave, I don't know how you saw that serve, but I thought it was just about an inch over the line.
I saw it short, and Anthony actually appealed instead of Charlie, which was not normal. Charlie got a little chuckle out of that as well. Charlie reversed that ball into Anthony's midsection. Anthony claps his hands and says, nice job.
Side out.
That ball is one of those strange ones that actually looks like it skips, but it actually clearly hits the front wall first.
5-6.
Great serve from Anthony. He hits the short crack on the left, the mid crack, and the deep crack. He mixes it up really well behind himself.
There's another good one right there. Charlie just flicks it with his left hand.
That's a great fly kill from Charlie, but Dave, Chip was having a lot of success with that, Anthony having a lot of success with that serve behind himself against Chip. Chip was asking for screens, but Charlie knows better. Charlie knows those are not screen serves.
Look at that ball. Smoked from Charlie.
It's a smart shot from Anthony. Puts Charlie in a tough spot. And Anthony does some amazing hands in the front court. Dave, he's able to put spins on short hop pickups and fly kills and end rallies with them.
That's a terrible serve right there, and Charlie makes him pay for it.
And remember, Dave, Charlie Shanks will become the #1 ranked player on this tour if he wins this match.
I think Charlie knows that too, and it might play a little bit into his
6-6.
I've only told him that, Dave, 12 times since yesterday.
Good person.
Well, I'm excited for him. I'm not doing it to make him nervous.
Charlie trying to downplay it by saying it doesn't matter. I'm not #1. Paul Brady is, but it still has to be burning a brand somewhere into his skull because it is one of those things that you think about.
And a beautiful shot from Anthony.
Point.
Anthony looks like he might be pushing the roof down here, Dave. I'm not
7-6.
Not quite sure.
I think he was telling himself to keep the ball down, but I don't know really what he was trying to say there. And there he goes for another crack. These are effective against big guys, pushing that ball around with that two-wall pass. Charlie's able to flip it.
And a bad bounce, unfortunate for Anthony, as it looked like he'd have a big back wall set up with his right hand, but just kind of a squirrely bounce in the back corner. These courts, Dave, are pristine. Haven't seen a bad bounce yet.
Not a bad return from Anthony. Overhit, though, on that one.
Well, going for the ceiling there and just missed the ceiling. It's one of those shots, Dave, if it's an inch higher, it clips that ceiling and dies in the left corner, but
7-7.
Instead it just catches the front wall first.
And a corner kill from Selestow. Gets another point. Side out, excuse me, tied at 7.
7-7.
The ball is close to being short. It's like Anthony's trying to be too perfect on his ceiling shots, and he's left a couple of them out there. And he's able to get that ball.
That's an amazing get there from Anthony.
Charlie cuts it.
And Anthony had a good look at that shot, Dave. Charlie should have just blown that ball past Anthony, but he clips the side wall.
7-7.
And Anthony's playing exactly the kind of game that disrupts Charlie's flow. He's cutting off a lot of shots. He's got the great reaction time to be able to hang out in that front court and take time away from Charlie. And Anthony there just spun himself around. Really completely out of position there.
If you were to tell Anthony that he'd be, after 15 minutes into this match, he'd be trailing 7-8, he'd say, okay, great, I'd take that.
He told Charlie Shanks a couple hours ago that I hope you're ready for me because I'm coming after you. So maybe he wouldn't be satisfied with just that slight deficit. Very positive young guy, Dave. I mean, came out of the court during a timeout getting just killed in the last match. He said, you know, just 1 point at a time.
9-7.
I know you're right there. I wasn't, but nice to hear from him. Now, if someone else says that, not so nice to hear, and you tell them that actually, no.
It's like a ballerina in there.
Amazing get there from Anthony. And Dave, we've got the manager of this facility checking in here on the booth.
That was an amazing get that Anthony had early there where he just kind of contorted his body to get the ball to the front wall and ends up winning the rally because of that. He gets points for that. Side out, serving right down the middle, though. This is dangerous with Charlie. He just powers it right at the feet of Selestow.
And that's a high percentage play there from Charlie. He doesn't need to go for the bottom board, just rips off a 90-mile-per-hour reverse right at Anthony's feet.
But what is Anthony doing with serving that ball down the middle like that? What was he trying to do, break a hook?
9-7.
I mean, you
I
don't
think-
serve the ball down the middle unless you have
No.
some juice on it.
Yeah, I think he was trying to go closer to the
Short
right wall and just got away from him.
That was about an 8-foot error.
Second.
And these are the ones that you look back on video. Hi, Anthony, where you know, a couple months
Just got
back
that.
later on video where you start tallying those.
Oh, beautiful
Nice.
shot from Anthony.
It's as if right after you said that he needs to work on those dump shots, he's actually made 3 really good dump shots up front. And you're right.
7-9.
Anthony puts himself in such great position, court position, that if he learned how to dump the ball like, let's say, Danny Bell, he could break into the top 8.
Another great pickup from Anthony and a fist pump, Dave. Really looks comfortable in there now.
He's not intimidated by the
8-9.
future #1 player in the world.
Well, he won't
Charlie
be if
Shanks.
he loses this match.
And Anthony would tell you right there that he just missed that. Even on a dive, that's right in Anthony's wheelhouse. Charlie now serving at 9-8. Charlie's feeling it here. It's like Charlie's in enemy territory. He doesn't have his
9-8.
beautiful fiance in the crowd. He doesn't have any Irish players here. The only thing that he has in common is that everybody has white skin.
Point.
I mean, real pale skin.
Okay.
Ten serving 8. Side out.
There's another side out. Anthony serving here at 8-10.
Charlie struggles, Dave, against guys he plays for the
8-10.
first time. You remember he lost to Vic Perez and Chip Morales. He's the kind of guy that likes to figure you out, and he gets more comfortable each time he plays you. But he gets a little bit weary and anxious playing new guys.
Well, he's not completely comfortable with this
9-10.
1 game to 25 format. In fact, a lot of the players aren't comfortable with it, and that's what makes me, I believe, so interesting, because it's either, if you're winning, it's great, but when you lose, you almost feel like you deserve a tiebreaker to try to bail yourself out.
Well,
Charlie doesn't have that opportunity. I know guys like Sean Lenning don't
10-10.
have that opportunity, but Anthony Selestow, he gets to live it up. He feels like he's in a continuous 25-point
ball.
tiebreaker. And Charlie looks at, wants to
Second.
pace himself just a little bit. We're all together at 10, Dave. This is a competitive match.
Well, it's been competitive throughout.
You'd almost have to compare.
Good shot there from Charlie. Use the court positioning against Anthony.
Wow. I cannot believe Abraham did not give Anthony that
Oh,
call right
I
there.
agreed with that call. Anthony
no,
was
not
in a
at
bad
all.
position.
Anthony
Wow.
still almost got his hand on it. A dive away from getting a hand on that ball, and he was
That's not
held
the
up.
kind of ball you dive for. That ball was
Well,
behind him slightly.
Anthony's a good artist. I disagree.
Well, he
But
didn't complain.
he did. He looked up at Abraham and gave him the look like, he was held up for a good second and still almost got to the ball. Now, Anthony plays similar to Michael Gregan out of Ireland. He is a good artist. Michael might have a little bit more reformed right-hand kill
10
shot off
serving
the back
10.
wall, but there's a lot of similarities there, and I don't know what the future, or I should say the historical matchups and point scores between Gregan and Charlie Shanks, but I'm certain they've probably had some battles. I would email Michael Gregan, but I don't think he knows how to log into a computer.
It's pretty tough. This is an incredible rally here. And that's a Paul Brady corner kill, Davis. You hit that corner kill high with so much pace that it jumps away from you, even though it's not a flat
11-10.
rollout or a ball that bounces twice before the left side wall. It's even more effective.
It almost seems like the ball jumps out of that corner faster than it went in. It kind of acts as a two-wall pass out of a corner kill. And that's what power can do for you. Uh-oh, there it is.
Got it.
That ball hit Charlie. That was a fake. You don't see that in handball circles much. but they do it a lot in the upper 40. That's just an old handball trick there. He played like he was taking the back wall. Charlie was going to let him take that, and then it hit Charlie.
Short ball. Second.
The way that Charlie Shanks is able to put that ball deep into the corners defensively is certainly remarkable, because he's kind of known as being a shooter and a power guy. Nice hook right there from Charlie. Anthony sticks with it, though.
Charlie's not putting a lot of balls down. He's winning a lot of points with misdirection passes, as he did there.
Well, I believe Charlie can win with misdirection passes, but Anthony's tracking everything down. Charlie's certainly going to feel tired after this match, win or lose. Your match with Nadi Alvarado lasted 29 minutes, and this is not even halftime yet, and we're at 24 minutes. Now, it's not no offense to your match with Nadi, because that was a fun, interesting match, but this one has a lot of side outs, and that just shows you how long these rallies are. We haven't had a timeout yet, and that's just a laser kill shot right there from Charlie's left.
Well, it's been a lot of side outs also. Neither guy able to really get anything going. Neither guy, Davis, scored more than 3 consecutive points while in the box, or 3 consecutive points at all.
That's going to be a setup for Anthony. Goes low, but not for a kill shot.
Hold it.
I'm not sure what Charlie's looking at there. That was an obvious hinder call.
We're going to replay 12-10.
Similar, Dave, to Anthony's match against Sean Lenning, where Anthony took a 15-14 lead at halftime.
Well, Anthony certainly got crowd support here, Dave. I don't know how he did it, but we got the future #1 player in the world on the court.
10-12.
And Anthony gets the crowd support. I guess I do know how, because Anthony just has that way about him. But one of the tournament goers here said, Anthony helped me move some boxes out of my car, and then he helped clean up a mess downstairs unrelated to handball. I mean, who is this guy? I said, well, that's Anthony. I mean,
11-12.
one of the nicest guys we've ever met. 11-12 score here. He actually makes you a better person when you hang around him. 12-12, and you root for him because he's such a nice guy.
12-12.
He'd be a lot like John Bike if John Bike were nice.
I don't really follow that.
Contact. Did you want to he didn't call contact. I'm going to give him the shot. He didn't hold up. I thought he was going to hold up, but he didn't. He went with it.
Strange call there. I like that the referee changing his mind there, but
he did call it during the shot, which means Anthony didn't have a chance to go after it.
12.
Well, it was kind of a no-lose situation there for Charlie, because if he doesn't put it down, Anthony gets a free pass. And that's a good serve from Charlie.
I called it good. One agree.
It's strange when you're seeing one line judge disagree with the other. That was an amazing shot. Charlie digs it out, though, and
thank you. Side out.
Again, Anthony not happy that Charlie doesn't tell him that it's 2 bounces.
I'm not sure he's not happy about that.
Well, he looked back. He gave him that look.
Maybe he was saying good call. Just think it's presumptuous.
Don't your lips probably should move during that? When you tell somebody good call, shouldn't you actually move your lips, or is he doing that
Sometimes
telepathically?
it's just no. Sometimes it's just an eye contact thing. Like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
13-12.
I do a lot of communication with just eye contact.
Oh.
Wow. That's a look what I found shot from Anthony Selestow going back into the box here at 12-13.
12-13.
But Charlie's hook is so unbelievable that pretty much that's all you can do is just flip it up there. And now we're all together.
13-13.
Charlie, I think, wants to run a contest
Replay.
for the fans to name his nickname.
That's true. He says everyone has a nickname on the tour but me.
Now, see, here's a guy that's actually wanting a nickname. Now, as long as it's not disparaging, I think we can get by with it. Now, I don't know what your choices are. I was thinking Sir Hop-a-Lot. Not good enough, or I'd like for those that are following us on Facebook or Twitter to give us the Charlie Shank nickname. Now, let's not go with the Lurgan Boy or the names that were given to him in Ireland. He said he doesn't like that. He wants to go with
13.
He wants to go with an American nickname that we give him, and he's just a little frustrated that he doesn't have one. Now, I thought Stiletto would be a great nickname, and you said no, I give that to everybody, but I've never nicknamed anybody before.
But it's been used before.
Okay. Charlie's going to go down low on this. Passing. Selestow just pops it to the front wall. Anthony giving Selestow a steady dose of balls to his left hand. There's a point now at 14. Not sure.
14-13.
I'm not sure if you've come up with a nickname yet.
I've actually been thinking about it for a couple of days and haven't.
Uh-oh, set up.
And a smart shot there.
That's half.
Very competitive, Dave.
3 minutes.
First half and 30 minutes to play 27 points. Excuse me, 28 points.
We're going to take a break here in the booth. We'll be back here in about 2.5 minutes. Stick around, more action. The second half on the way at racefor8.com.
We are different. Society should aspire to be more like us.
Be part of the first class. Get energized. Get outside.
Hold on, guys. It's gonna get bumpy.
And get moving. Experience the power of physical activity. Join the movement at ActionHeroAlliance.com.
So, what's it gonna be? We could ride bikes, skating, movies, zoo, whatever you guys want to do.
Can we just do this?
Yeah. We could just do this.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
All right, time is in. Anthony serves. The score is 13-15.
We are back here in Anchorage, Alaska for the second half of this match. It looked like it could have been a screen. Anthony Selestow serving at 13-15, Dave.
Well, that was a very well played point from Charlie. Defended that serve incredibly well, and Charlie hit that dipping two-wall pass. And Dave, it looks like you can take that shot out of the air. But you know, that ball just has that dip to it, Dave, and gets right below your hand as it merges with the side wall, and then you just kind of feel foolish because you have no play on the ball. And you want to be aggressive and look to take the ball early.
16-13.
But when you put the right spin on it. This is, Dave, generally where you see a top player kind of step up his game.
Charlie just pounding balls right at Anthony.
And Dave, Charlie is very analytical. You wonder if during that 3-minute halftime, as he apologizes for that slight miss hit, if he said to himself, I need to start doing things a little bit differently because this guy's picking all of my best shots. Maybe I start pushing him around a little bit more, waiting for opportunities, giving him an opportunity to make mistakes. Or like that, Dave, just finding that corner at the perfect angle.
Anthony, that's your first.
That's why I say, Dave, that his nickname should be Stiletto. I mean, he goes into that corner, just a unbelievable sort of stiletto-type kill into the left corner, and there's a quick timeout from Anthony Selestow, who's just trying to get Charlie off of his game, and Charlie there just wanting to fake throw a ball at Anthony.
So he's the TIS then, the Irish Stiletto.
I guess so, if you want to acronym the, which doesn't happen normally, but Charlie Shanks there, you can see hydrating himself. Anthony trying to just take a breather to cool down the hotness from TIS.
So I guess it's just caught on that easily.
That's how you can think about it for 2 weeks, but that's how easy it was.
I'm going to take 11% of the credit for that nickname. I get 100% of the credit for every other nickname.
Okay.
Yeah. But I will take 11% for the for TIS. Dave, I don't know if you can pick it up in our studio here, which is right in downtown Anchorage.
10 seconds.
But it literally has not stopped snowing for 1 second since we've been here in Alaska. I just didn't even know that was possible. And yet people are still driving 65 on a 2-lane road.
Now, I got a tweet on Twitter here talking about what is a stiletto. I mean, if you're going to try to use it in handball terms, it's a short dagger with a tapering blade. And so
I think it's a long dagger. I mean, it generally only refer to stilettos with the taller players.
Takes that short corner kill, just dagger, stays up front, and he does it with power. Yeah, but going back to your Alaska reference, I mean, it has not stopped snowing. It's just unbelievable snow out here, and it's huge flakes, and they accumulated quite a bit last night. It was a complete whiteout for 40 miles. Down in Los Angeles, they have TMZ, which stands for 30-mile zone, which is really the 30 miles of the area where they do all their filming and where all the actors come from. That's what TMZ stands for. Here it's the It's the FMZ, the 40-mile zone, where it just completely whites out oftentimes. And the FMZ is happening in Anchorage.
I used to get upset when you went into these rants, but now I actually like them. It's a break for me, so it's like time I'm getting paid for that I don't have to do anything. So it's actually really nice.
I'm just trying to educate you.
Yeah.
It's the FMZ here.
Yeah. I know that's a thing. I'm sure if I Google that, I'll find it.
You would.
Yeah. Okay. You've already created that website, I see. And Dave, everything has changed here in the second half. I mean, Charlie is making it look easy. Charlie's won 4 3-shot rallies already. He hadn't won one rally, with the exception of 3 ace serves, that was less than 10 shots before halftime. And this is where confidence, David, becomes so important, because Charlie's got the confidence. He knows he's got another gear. And Anthony is a little wet behind the ears and doesn't quite know, can I pull off another upset? Yeah, I took down Sean Lenning, but can I validate it?
Short ball. Second.
Remember, Dave, Anthony still has yet to qualify officially on the Race for A Tour. Now, normally, Dave, you see the qualifiers go up against the 1 through 4 players, and it's really not all that competitive. Now, this is a guy that has never even qualified, taken out the #1 player, now giving the future #1 player all he can handle. So I guess the secret is, Dave, drop that qualifier, come in to face one of those 1 through 4s.
Well, I did well today in my thing, not to turn it on me, which, you know, I never do.
Right.
But I was serving at 17 to 16 against Luis Moreno today, and I actually felt like I was going to win. And there was nobody watching, so.
An amazing shot from Charlie there. But no, Dave, I didn't want to interrupt you. I know that you've got a style that actually matches up really well with Luis.
21-13.
He singles you out in Tucson amongst a group of 10, 20 really great players that he wants to spar with, because he says, you know, your style is challenging for me. It brings out what I want in my game, which is dealing with different types of shots.
He's also, your credit, he's also studying up on all of his fat jokes, and he gets to hear those throughout the duration of the match. He's certainly a student of self-deprecating humor. So he's certainly going after self-improvement in some form or another. There's a little congestion there.
So that's self-deprecation is self-improvement then?
Well, I mean,
I'm not really making
he's improving himself by learning some of these burns of the.
Yeah. Right.
Charlie Shanks up here, 21 to 13. Shanks serving. Nice steady push up there, but it was a huge setup for Charlie. Pokes it out there. Anthony has these amazing gets.
Dave, I have a couple of trivia questions for you here today, and you will have until the end of this match to answer question number 1. It does have to be in the form of a question, your answer.
I really hope that this is not about handball. But go ahead.
Well, I know how much you hate to talk about handball during these matches, but
Yeah.
unfortunately this will be.
I'm really into texting and tweeting, though.
Okay. But remember, Dave, your answer has to be in the form of a question.
Okay.
Okay. Name the last player to beat Dave Chapman in a pro stop, and name the city in which it happened.
You see Charlie Shanks here is with his, has a problem with his glove. It's like his glove came undone. What is Atlanta, Georgia, and who is Charlie Shanks?
Correct.
Thank you.
You will move on now to the next round, which
Okay.
will take place during our third quarterfinal
I
match here
cannot
this
wait
evening.
for that. I can't wait to find out what the prize is. I was going to try to make a reference to Pat Boyd, but was unable to do so. I did not want to mess up the question.
I can say with almost certainty that he is not watching.
Oh, Charlie's going to get that. That ball just jumped back up for Charlie, who tried to do a backhanded flip, was unable to do it.
Well, that's the problem when you drive the ball into the left side of the front wall.
13-21.
With a natural as a right-hander, the ball does pop into the sidewall. Oh, that's an amazing shot there from Charlie, and he's outscored Anthony now 6-0 since halftime. And Dave, remember, no player had scored more than 3 points in a row before halftime. Now it's Charlie scoring 6 in a row. And Charlie comes over the top of that ball. Anthony now kicking his foot there. It looks like he might have just rolled his ankle a little bit, Dave. But Charlie gets the outside of that ball with the left paddle and is able to straighten it out.
Point.
Now you're seeing Charlie just score points at will here.
And Dave, it's so
23-13.
rewarding to see so many juniors down in the galleries here, Dave, taking in this pro action, being inspired, and that's really what the WPH is all about, is promoting this game for juniors and demonstrating and revealing the benefits that this sport can bring, not only as a junior, but for the rest of your life.
Well,
it's a lifetime sport.
We've gone a long way, Dave. I mean, we used to be promoting 4 juniors. I mean, there were just 4 juniors.
Yeah.
But now we're going to these
wait, so there were, as in
only
4 the number.
Yeah.
So not just, you weren't promoting 4 juniors. Okay, there were 4 juniors.
We progressed as a company. Back then it was just 4 people. But now, now we're finding these crowds of 20 to 30 kids that are showing up for each one of our pro stops at every one of the locations.
Yeah.
And they're getting instructionals from elite players, learning from those players, and actually going on and doing some things locally and on a national scale. It's been a really fun thing, and we've been seeing it here as Charlie gets back into the box
and
at 23 to 13.
There's talk, Dave, that the WPH is going to take that junior development and fundraising to another level here in the next couple of weeks even.
Yep. There is a formal announcement as Anthony Selestow pushes that ball 1 inch high off the front wall. He's kind of laughing and looking back at Charlie, just having a good time in there.
He was having a lot more fun before the second half started, though, I can assure you.
Well, he's only scored a point since.
Actually, he hasn't scored yet. Still stuck at 13.
Well, look at that reverse from Charlie. Talking to Charlie yesterday in the locker room, he said that he doesn't really even think about the reverse. He just goes over and tries to spin a ball. He said, I either try to spin a natural or a reverse, but I don't really like go in there thinking that I know how to do it. I just kind of move my hand across the ball. I think if he doesn't know that he's going to do it before he takes the shot, how will his opponent know?
Well, Dave, I've played Charlie a number of times, and you know, you can play even with him. You can even build leads against him. But when he gets into this zone, I mean, he just starts ending rallies from everywhere on the court. I mean, his serve becomes virtually unreturnable. And then he starts hitting these circus shots like this with his left hand, although he doesn't get it.
There it is. Charlie Shanks advances to the semifinals, and I believe he now is the #1 ranked player in the world in both the race standings and the power rankings.
That's correct, Dave. And he certainly earned it. He came over here. He had to qualify, had no status at the first stop last year. Nearly took out Nadi Alvarado in his first event, then followed that up in the U.S. Open, Dave, with another good result. And since then, Dave, he's just been building. I mean, it was Charlie taking 4th place at the Players' Championship, then 2nd place at the Nationals. And then this year, Dave, has just been another outstanding year with a 2nd a 6th, and a win, and now here guaranteed himself at least a 3rd-place finish.
No, that camera is a little bit out of focus, but I think what I'm going to do is take my headset off and run down to the gallery and just make the announcement that Charlie Shanks is now the #1 ranked player in the world. Congratulations out to him. We have another match coming up right around the corner. In fact, as I look at my handy-dandy sheet here, it shows that we have Luis Moreno versus Emmett Pachot. It's going to be a fun match to watch. We'll talk about that, analyze it probably too much. We'll be back in 13 minutes. Stick around here at racefor8.com.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
It's Timothy Green's first day at school.
What's in there? He's about to fall over.
Anything he might need. There's a box of tissues on the bottom and some Band-Aids. There's a whole first aid kit, actually.
Mom, I can handle it from here.
You don't have to be perfect.
Have a great day.
That's too much pressure.
Have the day you have.
To be a perfect parent.
There are 2 people in the world who want you more than anything. They'll make some mistakes, but they will love you more than you can ever imagine.
There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.